Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Missy. Thanks for joining me again. Today's layout is for the Hip Kit Club, and it's another page using the 2015 September kits. And these are some of the goodies that I'm going to be starting with today. I decided to use this beautiful Dear Lizzie documentary ampersand paper as my background. And sometimes I just really like starting with a busy background and working with it to make it less busy. And so I'm going to take some white gesso here and an old debit card and just try to smoosh it around and smooth it out so it covers a lot of the ampersands. It not completely covers them, but just drowns them out a little bit. So some of that busyness is toned down. And I'm going to be using a couple of the Project Life cards and this big ampersand that I cut out on my Cameo with some of the charcoal cardstock. I'm going to jazz up the background, of course, with some gelatos, and I'm going to use a lot of pinks and reds mixed together to create that reddish pink color that is in this paper. And a lot of this is going to be covered up. I wanted it to be a background element sort of peeking out of all of the layers that I'm going to be putting on top of it. And all the layers that I'm going to be using, well, I shouldn't say all, a lot of the layers that I'm going to be using are Project Life cards. And if you haven't gotten your hands on any of the Project Life kits, I highly recommend them, even if you don't do Project Life, because they make excellent pieces on layouts. I like to use them as layers. There are a lot of little fun things that you can cut out and use as embellishments. So this yellow card and this blue card are going to be used behind my picture. So I've got all my red and pink done here. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of light blue aqua color. And all these colors are in the background. And I like how I've kind of drowned it out so it's not so bold and bright. They're more of a subtle color now. And then I'm going to come in with some yellow. And first I'm going to start with just some splatters. And then I'm going to come in and add a little bit more. And this is a good way to get your splatters to dry quicker, is to dab them up with a napkin. I like to make little points with the napkin and just like a little pencil point and just dab it, and it helps dry up the splatters really quickly. More gelatos here, this time with some yellow. This plastic packaging technique is addicting. I just literally want to cover the whole paper doing that, but I have to stop because that's not the look I'm going for, but it's just fun to do, and it's hard to stop. So I just try to figure out where I want the layers to go. I don't want to cover up the other ampersand on that blue card, and then there's a little sentiment at the top of the yellow card that says just be, and I wanted both of those to show. These cute craft tags come in the kits, and I wind up changing the one that I picked, but I do use one there. And this is a fun sheet here from Amy Tan. That's it's a little bit thicker than regular cardstock, or not cardstock, pattern paper. And it's got these cute die cut cards on it. And I'm going to use this pink one that says lovely, mainly because of the pink color and it matches, but also because it says lovely. And this picture is of Paige, and we were at the doctor's office one day, and I was trying to keep her from having a meltdown, and so of course the Cheerios came out, and she finally calmed down, and of course I had to take some pictures because she was looking extra cute. So I fussy cut out that little blue circle with the orange writing on it. Yeah, I ran out of staples there. From a Project Life card, and that's what I was saying earlier, is you can always cut things out of these Project Life cards, and they make fun embellishments. And so I'm going to use that little piece that I cut out. It says live the life you've imagined, and I like the color of it. I think it matches nicely. I'm just covering up the rest of the lovely there because it's open, and part of it was backed with yellow, but the other part was just open, and I wanted it to look all the same. So I kind of have the idea of how the background is going to look here. I do fiddle with it quite a bit just to make sure that I have it just like I like it. And the ampersands really don't have any significance here. I just like the shape of it, and I like all of the different ampersands that are in the kits. There's a lot of little things that have the ampersand on it, and so I thought, you know, this is just going to be an ampersand layout for whatever reason. And I'm going to wind up overlapping that little life piece over the picture. And I change out the craft tag for this open heart here, and I'm going to back it using another Project Life card, and it's that reddish color there. It's kind of a reddish coral color, I think. That's how I would describe it. And that color is also in the background paper. So I'm going to play around with some rub-ons here, and oh yeah, I did some stitching. I did circle stitching and stitching around the Project Life cards just to give them a little extra pop of, I guess, the gray color, because there's not really a lot of black on this page at this point. It's more of a dark gray, and so I used dark gray thread there. And I'm going to have some more fun with the rub-ons. These Dear Lizzy rub-ons are awesome, as are the Amy Tan ones. And I wasn't sure, there was too much texture going on to the left of the picture with the thread and that cardstock ampersand, and so I just did the rub-on on white cardstock and then cut it out. That way I could put it wherever I wanted it without having to actually rub it on, because sometimes rub-ons, you know, if there's a lot of texture underneath, or not underneath, but where you're going to put it, it's not going to run very well if it's bumpy and textured. So that's an easy way to use on anywhere you want it if you're not sure where you want to put it, because, you know, if you rub it on, it's there. So rub it onto cardstock and you can move it around. So I'm going to pop up my picture here. I did add some tangled gray thread there, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere it by using dots with the picture. I should keep it in place. So I really am going to just use this red ticket here for another pop of red. Since I've got that reddish color going on over on the right with the heart, I wanted to have a little bit of this red over here, so I'm just going to use that as a background pop of color there. And I really wanted to use some of these wood veneer words from crepe paper. I'm going to jazz it up here in just a second and give it some color. I'm going to use that to rub on. I just couldn't decide, and I finally decided to put it right there. Rub-ons are so fun, especially when they run easily. I just wish their collection had more rub-ons because they're fun to use. I'm going to use that little arrow, and that's from Amy Tan Finders Keepers. It was this puffy sticker here, and of course there's an ampersand on it, so I had to use it, and it matched. Not quite sure where I'm going to put it yet though, but I am going to use it. And that little gray circle says, oh, okay. And it didn't really go with anything, I mean, significant here, but I like the shape of it, and I like the faded look of it, and the gray color, of course, matches. So I'm going to jazz up this Hello wood veneer piece, and I'm just going to give it a light coat of white gesso, and then I'm going to use gelatos here, and I want to kind of give it a variation of color. I'm going to have some blues and greens fade into some yellows and pinks. And I wanted to kind of encompass all the colors that are on the layout in this one word, because I didn't want to just make it one solid color, mainly because I couldn't decide which color I would make it if I was going to do just one color. I didn't want to do it black, I didn't want to do it gray, so I thought, well, we'll just add a bunch of colors to it. I tried to make sure that I didn't make the H blue, because the H is going to be over that blue card. So I made that H stand out a different color. And I like the way it looks. I think it's cute. I love rainbow colored things, and so that worked out nicely. And I'm going to add a few more of those little heart puffy stickers, and I'm going to decide to put the ampersand right there by the other life circle. Add a little bit of thread there, that's yellow, for another pop of yellow on the left. And then I'm going to take my black Sharpie here and just go over the edges, or outline the edges of this wood veneer, just to make it pop a little bit more. I love these thickers. I love the tall font of them, and there are so many. You get a ton of letters in this pack of thickers. I wish they made them in every color because I would stock up. These cute enamel hearts are from the Dear Lizzy Finders Keepers. And here's where I do add a little bit of black. I go in with my black Heidi Swapp Color Shine and just add some splatters. And then I couldn't resist not using these stamps. Again, these Ellie Studio stamps from the color kit. They're so much fun and they look really good. And I'm going to go and make a little curved sentiment here at the top and the bottom of that stitch circle. Just going to say, love this funny girl. I know that's not really original, but it fit and that's what I decided to do. Now this little red heart did not rub on that well. I don't know if it's because of the gelatos in the background, but I rubbed and none of it came off. And so I kept having to really, really push hard. It eventually did come off, but I'm trying to figure out why that one gave me so much trouble and the rest of them didn't. I'm thinking it was the background. I'm just putting this napkin under my hand because my black splatters aren't completely dry, and I am famous for sticking my hand in the splatters and smudging them as I write my journaling. And I usually do these splatters last, but for whatever reason, I did this out of order. So I did not want to smudge because there's nothing more annoying than smudging black ink on your layout. I'm going to add the title. No, not the title. That wasn't the title. The date. And then I'm going to do a little bit more of experimenting with these distress markers. In my last video, I drew with them a little bit, and then I tried to wet it, and, nothing really happened. And I think I did it wrong. A lot of you left me comments saying, wait a minute, those are supposed to react with water. And I tried it a little bit differently here. I used my little water pen, and it worked beautifully. Oh my goodness. I need to get more of these markers. You just add a little bit of marker, and then use this little pen, and you could probably use a paintbrush. But you just squeeze this and water comes out of the tip and it really smudged the paint. It was great. Or the marker, the ink. And so I do a little bit more. I kind of thought, oh, this is fun. And so I added a little bit of the green. Oh, I just gave a thumbs up there because I was excited. I can't believe that I haven't used these before. What's wrong with me? Where have I been? Have I been living under a rock? I don't know. But I need some more of these, like ASAP, because they're super fun to use. And now that I figured out how to do it right, hello. I must have been having a blonde moment in my last video. I don't know. But anyway, there's the final page. I really like how it turned out. I think it's fun, it's bright, it's colorful, and all of these elements in the kits just make it so much fun to create with. And so if you are interested in checking out any of these kits, check out hipkitclub.net. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And to everyone else, I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.